Rather than aspiring to do great deeds, I will do small deeds with great love. This is a quote from St. Therese that speaks to her little way. St. Therese was born in 1873, and she was the youngest in a family of 9. All of her sisters went into the convent. They all became nuns. That's all she wanted to do as well. She wanted to follow in her sister's footsteps and become a nun as well. At that time, you weren't allowed to join the convent until you were 15. So every year St. Therese would go and she would ask if she could join, and every year they would tell her no. But when she turned 15, they accepted her into the convent, and she was very excited. Soon after she joined, she started what she called her little way. The little way was that she would do little good things every day in order to improve the lives of the people in the convent. One of the most famous of these that she talks about quite a bit is when another nun would leave their room, she would go into their room, take their shoes, polish them up so that they were shining, sneak back into the room, hide them back under the bed, so that when that nun came back in their room, they would have a nice polished pair of shoes, and nobody would ever know who did it. It would just be a small improvement to the lives of the people around her. We present about St. Therese in our 4th grade presentation, and then we talk about something called the hero in waiting in the 8th grade presentation. The hero in waiting is someone who practices these small good things every day, and when those big heroic times come along, because they've practiced the small good things, they'll be ready to act in a heroic way. This got me thinking, how hard would it be to do one small good deed every day? How difficult is it? I've started a project called the Little Good Thing Project. I'm going to make a conscious effort every day to do at least one little good thing for someone in my life or someone who I come in contact with. I've been doing this for about 8 days and I've had some pretty interesting results. I was driving with my mom and she had to stop off to a place that she had to drop some things off to for her work. We were pulling into the parking lot and there was a guy who works in the security booth at the parking lot, and as we pulled in he said, "Oh, Debbie, good to see you again. Always a good day when you're around." And she pulls into the parking lot, and while we were parking she was telling me that he's just the nicest guy, and every time she pulls into the parking lot he's always really nice to her. And so I said, well, you should encourage that. You should give him something. You should let him know. Now my mom keeps a bunch of stuff in the back of her car that she hands out to her clients, and one of those is little small bags of trail mix. So I said, Mom, you should give him one of those bags of trail mix and just let him know that you appreciate him being a nice guy. And so we were on our way out. She stopped. She gave him 2 bags of the trail mix, and the guy's face lit up. It was the coolest thing. He smiled and he was like, "Oh, thank you very much. I really appreciate it." And immediately opened one of the bags and started eating the trail mix. It was so cool. So that I posted about, and that's one of the things that I have followed up on. Another thing that I did was I was standing in a parking lot. We were waiting to go into a store, and there was a guy coming out of the store, and I looked down, and the car that he was headed towards said "Veteran" on the license plate. And so I just took a second. I said, "Sir, I see from your license plate that you're a veteran. Would it be all right if I shook your hand?" I said, "Thank you." And he put his hand out, and I shook his hand. I said, "Thank you." And I could see that he had tears in his eyes as he was getting into his car. That took 5 seconds of my day. It took a little bit of time to realize what was happening and a little bit of time to act. 5 seconds of my day, and I hopefully made that guy's day a little bit better. It's not that difficult to do these little good things every day. And I've been doing it, like I said, for about a week now and had some pretty interesting experiences. You can follow those experiences on Twitter at Little Good Thing, and that's my Twitter account name, so hop on there and check that out. And then you can also follow the weekly updates on the blog at theheroconstructioncompany.com. That's theheroconstructioncompany.com. So have a look at those things and enjoy.